My name's Timmy. I'm a student at the University of Missouri School of Journalism, and I'm interested in doing a personality profile on you. So this is just a video interview just to get to know you better.
Great.
I have a couple questions. I did my homework on you, so I might know some things. So I apologize if it's a little sensitive. Just let me know.
Okay.
Why don't you just tell me a little bit about yourself, outside work, what you do,
Okay.
and everything.
I have a family, a wife and 3 sons, and a dog named Truman.
Okay.
We've lived here in Columbia for about 10 years. I served active duty in the U.S. Navy, so have done 3 deployments with the Navy, and then left active duty in 2014, moved back to Columbia.
Oh wow. So you're from here then?
My wife's family is originally from here.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in Southwest Missouri.
Oh, okay. That's good. Okay, so let's talk a little about like you serving in the Navy and everything. So it seems like you kind of love to serve the people because you've been in the Navy, you interned with like a congressman.
Yep.
And a senator. So I mean, when did your interest start in like wanting to serve the people?
Yeah. There are so many ways that government or the military, even the university, they affect people's lives in pretty significant ways.
Right.
And so I've just always considered that if I have a skill set, I want to contribute that to helping people do things better or protecting others. So I never really thought like why
Right.
I'm motivated to do things like that. But that's just always been what I'm drawn to.
Okay, so when did you join the Navy again?
I was sworn in 2007.
Okay, so it's been a while.
Yep.
Okay, so what would you say are like challenges or like rewards that you have from like doing all these things?
Challenges and rewards?
Yes.
I mean, it's challenging on your family, so
Right.
you're away from home a lot. On deployment, you are constantly moving. Every 2 years in the Navy, you move to someplace new. Here in public service, I am gone from home in the evenings a lot. You have fundraisers or community events or different activities that usually go on in the evening. So that's the negative side, the
Right.
challenges of it. The reward is you get to meet a lot of people. You get to interact with a lot of people in the community to see what other people are dealing with,
Right.
what they're struggling with, and then to be able to say, hey, I can contribute in this way. I can help make your life easier
Right.
this way and kind of offer that. So it's very rewarding to be able to make someone else's burden a little bit easier.
Right, I agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree. Okay, so coming back to like what you do here, so I know that a lot of like the things that go on here, you guys really plan for elections a lot.
Correct.
And so the next major one is 2018.
Correct.
But then you have a special one coming up in November.
Yep.
So like how much planning goes into like special elections as, in contrast with like the really big elections?
Well, it's the same amount of work for a special election as it is for a regular election.
Right.
We have to have the same number of polling locations. We have to contact the same number of voters. It's just the ballot is longer during a regular election, and more people will turn out during a regular election.
Okay.
So the fundamentals of it, the cost, the amount of work that goes into it, it's the same every election.
Right.
You just have to scale up for specific elections based on volumes of people who will show up on election day.
Okay, so how many years or like how many months would you say like you plan for elections?
10 months out for, the ballot and everything like that, or 10 weeks out to start the ballot. The ballot is really what drives each individual election. That's for the individual election, but the things that go into an election in general, we have voting equipment, we have employees that are trained, we have election workers that only work with us on election day itself.
Okay.
And that sort of thing takes years to have a plan for replacing your equipment. It takes years to train a really competent election judge. So some smaller pieces of it, the more immediate stuff is done in 3 months. That's
Right.
kind of our cycle. The bigger things that make successful elections take years to do.
Okay, I agree. So let's come back to like what you do here. What's a typical week for you like?
I have a lot of meetings, so I'll.
I can imagine.
My calendar's, as a public official, my calendar's pretty. It's would be available for anyone who wanted to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me show you a week. I mean, this was the week before Labor Day, where it's all meetings.
Right.
Probably 2/3 of my time is meeting with folks with specific issues, or as the county's looking at projects, meetings to discuss progress on those projects.
Right.
And then chunks of time for me to do my own work to support kind of what comes out of those meetings or what goes into those meetings.
Okay.
So, but fundamentally, my position, and I think most elected officials, their positions are about bringing the right people together to get stuff done. And so, it's mostly meetings.
Yeah. Okay. Busy week. Okay. So, I know that you were appointed like sometime this year.
July 31st.
July 31st. So, did you feel as if you were like being appointed into a position that was, too much for you, or did you feel like you were stepping into like super big shoes? Because I know like the last clerk was here for over 35 years.
Yeah. Wendy Norn, my predecessor, had been here for 35 years, and she had worked in the office for 4 years before that. But she started the job. She was elected when she was 29 years old,
Oh,
and
wow.
so Boone County has a history of electing or putting in place young professionals. So
Okay.
anyone who thinks that they're ready for a big adventure or a big job
Yeah.
is overestimating their ability. So I
Right.
knew that there were things that I didn't know and that I would have to learn. But I
Right.
also know my own work ethic, and I know what I am capable of.
Right.
And so I had the expectation that I would be able to grow into the position and grow in quickly.
Okay. So how's that been going for you?
It's been going well. You learn people quickly
Right.
because you work with a lot of people. It's the processes and the details that make county government work. That takes more time. It's difficult to learn a process without going through the process.
Right.
And a process always takes time.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think things are going well.
Okay, that's good. So do you plan on running for the position next year?
Oh yeah.
You
I
do?
mean, it's a lot of work. Even now, 5 weeks in, 6 weeks in, I'm nowhere near the level of knowledge that I need to have
Right.
to I think be successful long term. And so the learning curve for being a county clerk, say it's 3 months or 6 months, I think it would stink for the county to start over from scratch.
Right.
And for me, to put in that amount of effort, I intend to stay as clerk so that it's
sure.
worth something.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I know that you've been here since July.
July 31st.
Since July, and the election is next year. So do you feel any kind of pressure, like, oh, I need to get this done before the election? So
My big guiding priority is, because Wendy was in the office for so long, a lot of things that happened were not process oriented; they were
Right.
more personality oriented. Wendy knew what to do and how to do it, and so it just happened. Excuse me. My goal is, there's a very real possibility that Boone County could choose someone else to be clerk next year.
Right.
And so what can I do for a year and a half so that I'm successful, but also so that the person behind me is also successful?
Oh, yeah.
So I hope I'm still clerk, but if I'm not, Boone County needs to be in a position that the next clerk can be successful.
Right.
So my overriding goal over the next year and a half is just to put things in place so that if I leave, the next clerk can be
good.
successful,
Right.
and if I get to stay, then we can do even better things.
Right, I agree. So you're just like laying the foundation to be good anyways.
That's the goal.
Right. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, like I said, I did some stalking, and then I went on your Facebook, and then I saw that you're a Christian, and you seem very, very open about it.
Yep.
So, do you ever feel that there's a time where like your Christian belief ever like contradicts like work belief, or you know what I mean?
I don't. Being Christian is about having a fundamental set of beliefs on what motivates people
Right.
and what makes the world work. And so part of being Christian is also saying, if I'm in a specific role, what are my responsibilities in that role?
Right.
And if there's ever tension between doing one or the other, as a Christian, your prerogative should be to be a Christian first. But
Right.
that means there shouldn't be tension there.
No.
Give up one and do the other, you know? And so I've never felt that they've been in conflict before. I've just never felt that it's been an issue between us.
I mean, I asked that question because, I mean, I'm Nigerian, and then my mom works in the public office in Nigeria, and, you know, she's Christian, very open about it. And then sometimes she's like, you know, I have to make a decision at work, and then I feel like, you know, it contradicts my belief, or like it goes against what, like, you know, the Bible says we should do and stuff like that. You know, that's why I'm like, I don't know if everybody goes through that. Like, you know, in the public office, if people are faced with, like, you know, judgment calls, if I do this, is he, you know, against, you know, what the book says and stuff like that.
I don't know, any decision I make, I want to be an ethical decision.
Right.
And I think that individual ethics in government and my principles as a Christian are complementary.
Right.
So I've never felt like I've been in a situation where I've had to compromise one to do the other.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. So generally, like outside of work, what do you enjoy doing?
Enjoy camping, canoeing. I play tennis, not a lot anymore.
Okay. So do you follow tennis right now?
Do what?
Do you follow tennis, the U.S. Open?
Oh no, I have not followed the U.S. Open. I saw. I'm gonna. I watched a women's tennis match.
Right.
While I was getting a haircut. So.
Right. I love tennis as well. Yeah. That's what I'm asking.
I enjoy playing it. Have not had much time to play in the last, you know, year or so.
Right. So. Okay. Also, for just a quick question. So I know you went to Truman State. You went to WashU. So do you like ever go back to like talk to people there, or do they like invite you to like give speeches and stuff?
I have not been to. At Truman, after I graduated, I came back and spoke about my Navy service to some classes. WashU, I've not been back to speak about a specific issue yet, but you know, always open to talk about whatever. So WashU's a pretty prestigious university, and I think that as I get older, you know, they may call me in, but I'm still young enough and a recent enough graduate that have not had that opportunity.
Okay. Well, those were all my questions.
Okay.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
Also, just to confirm, what's your middle name?
Wayne.
Okay. I thought that was you.
Yeah.
That's Wayne.
Correct.
Okay.
I normally just go with W though. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've unlocked this, so you ladies can just.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Head out this way.